device grabbed her other leg and it was ripped from her body. By now, her heartbeat had slowed significantly, but she was still alive. The clamp grabbed her last limb and ripped it off. She wiggled and squirmed around, and then her heart finally stopped beating. I announced that there was no more cardiac activity. The nurse and scrub tech in the room gasped, blessing for the first time that this was happening to a fetus that was still alive. The remaining body parts, the head and torso, were removed. Placenta was removed, and a final look with ultrasound revealed all products of conception were removed. I was told I could leave the room. Up until that moment, I had been frozen. I silently removed the ultrasound machine from the operating room, went directly to the locker room, and threw up. I quit my job at that hospital shortly after. I told my boss I would never again participate in that type of procedure. I was having nightmares and could not escape the memory of what I had witnessed. I would never again assist in the murder of a child. It was over 20 years ago, but it's just as vivid in my mind today as the day it happened. The saddest part is that this procedure is still happening today. People have no idea we are murdering babies in this way. They think it isn't a person, that it's just a mass of tissue. I'm so sorry for what happened to this little girl, for what I did to her. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry.
Kevin Sorbo is on the narration there. He talked about how hard it was for him to get through this when they were recording it. I specifically did not want Todd to see this before it aired because I wanted him to react in real time with the rest of you who probably haven't seen it. I will tell you, I was looking at something else. I couldn't watch it again. I watched it in real time on Saturday, and I couldn't bring myself to watch it again. Even hearing it, I just couldn't do it again. So, Todd, this is the first time you have seen this, just like the audience. Your thoughts?
I think about all the time, because it comes up, quite frankly, in some. I'm really proud of the work Steve leading the way on and the conversations we are having about theology on this show and trying to come let us reason together. And man, some of the reactions, we just don't. Even when we're talking about God, I don't think we're letting God into the center of any of this. Of course we do things like this when we don't believe there's particularly anything holy going on at the center of ourselves. Even as a Christian amongst fellow Christians, we have so neutered our witness collectively. That's inevitable. There's just people out there, they have no sense of the divine. The divine is utterly foreign to them. So, I've seen the real thing of that, not just the cartoon version, and that's enough to make you throw up. I've seen it, and it happens all the time. But it's really a perfect extension of what I just got done talking about earlier this segment in terms of politics. We aren't citizens anymore. We aren't saints anymore, trying to be. We are all we are not interested in being more. We just aren't. That's where would you yet be struck? Isaiah 1. A lot more places, apparently. A lot more places. The reason I think about this all the time is because of my children. And hoping to have grandchildren one day like Steve now has. It's going to be rough, folks. It's going to be really rough.
Just when you're confronted with the truth about what it is we're truly debating here, I use that in the scare quotes for those of you listening. When you're confronted with the truth, illustrated so horrifyingly, as viewers just witnessed, you have to toss out, argumentation skills are good. Just toss those out. Philosophical approaches, those are necessary, but toss those out. If you are not struck to the core of your being with the horror of God's righteousness and what he hates, I think you need to check yourself. That testimony that we just heard there is just incomprehensible evil. And if you're not struck with a sense deep-seated within your soul, this has to stop. Check yourself.
I want to pick up right there on the phrase incomprehensible evil. When we come back, there's another video I want you to see next.
The Steve Day Show. Glenn Beck.
Biden himself has been very frustrated with the media's coverage of the economy. They're especially concerned about the airtime that polls are giving because it shows Biden losing to Donald Trump. Biden in his campaign told the New York Times and others they believe the media should dedicate more time to his narrative and also talk Trump and how he represents an existential threat to democracy. I haven't heard that last one from any of those guys.
The Glenn Beck Program.
Handle on the law.
France has never had a problem with abortion, ever. And as a matter of fact, looking at what's happened around the world, what the French legislature is enshrined the right to abortion in its constitution. About 80% of French people back up the fact that abortion is legal. And so now it is absolute law, constitutionally provided for.
Handle on the law. Sundays on Blaze Radio Network.
At Smoky Bones, we began house smoking and barbecuing meat to perfection in 1999. We've brought mouth-watering flavor to our guests ever since. And we're saying cheers to 25 smoking years by rolling back prices to what they were then. So come in now and get a half rack of St. Louis-style ribs with 2 sides for just $9.99, or make it a full rack for just $14.99. It's time to feast like it's 1999. Smoky Bones. Meat is what we do. All supplies last.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-683-5921. 800-683-5921. 800-683-5921. That's 800-683-5921.
This is a national healthcare alert from the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one has diabetes, listen closely. Now, regardless of your age, if you have insurance, you may qualify to receive diabetic testing supplies with little to no out-of-pocket cost. Get free delivery, free information, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers for free. Call the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline now for details. Toll free at this number. But wait, there's more. If you call right now, you could get a meter upgrade. In addition, we'll give you a free pair of diabetic socks as our special gift to you. Regardless of your age, if you suffer with diabetes and have insurance, you may qualify to get free delivery of your supplies.
800-443-0645. 800-443-0645. 800-443-0645. That's 800-443-0645.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp now for free information on how to get started today. InventHelp provides invention services that help everyday inventors get started with their idea. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. Our services include professional materials needed to showcase your invention, and 3D animation and prototype modeling that help you demonstrate your idea. Get down to the details of your idea with a technical drawing. The InventHelp Data Bank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Take advantage of the opportunity to get started today.
Call 1-800-352-1408. That's 1-800-352-1408. Again, 1-800-352-1408.
Conservative Review. Everything is so messed up. Republicans stand for the wrong things, and even when they stand for the right things, they do it for the wrong reasons, the wrong timing, and it just is so weird. It's so bizarre. You know, what Republicans are doing is they're screwing us. Mike Johnson is screwing us on every issue, and then in between, every second, he votes on something pertaining to Israel.
Conservative Review. Watch on demand at blazetv.com. Sarah Gonzalez, Unfiltered.
In the world we live in fighting exploitation every single day, where it is so hard to 18 and over prove, in the world of human trafficking, almost irrefutable evidence to prove that someone was a victim. The fact that this case is even in court sickens me, because real victims that are trafficked as minors have become adults when the law no longer protects them. And this girl is getting a global audience and is looked at. And yes, Trump should ask for a mistrial. Number one, if she says, look, I gave consent, she's not saying I gave consent. She's saying I didn't protest. You can't, after the fact, years and years later, go, well, you know what? I'm changing my mind on the moment I had before. Wouldn't we all like to do that at some point in our life?
Get Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered and other original content at blazetv.com. blazetv.com.
Stu Does America.
Gosh, Biden looks much more on top of it, Ben. Like, yeah, he called someone out and he said he'd stand up and he's in a wheelchair. But, like, he recovered from it quickly and said, you're making everyone else stand up. It looks like a totally different guy. I will say, when the moment you told a person in a wheelchair to stand up is a good moment in retrospect, might mean your presidency is on the rocks.
Stu Does America on Blaze Radio Network.
Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever podcasts are found.
Constitution Wealth is the Patriots' choice in wealth management. Now, if you're one of those people that is trying to avoid, when possible, not always is, but whenever possible, you're trying to avoid doing business with people who hate you, why not apply the exact same thing and values to your investments, to your retirement? And that's why you want Constitution Wealth. They'll help you put together a solid investment retirement plan that will reduce your investments in spirit of the age, woke schemes like ESG, DEI, and more. And this will help to put your money, maybe the most powerful weapon many of you have, to work in the culture war. All right. And you'll line up your values and your virtues with your investments. And this is also an opportunity to work with them to build the parallel economy by working with an investment firm comprised of professionals who are patriots just like you. Why work with anyone else? Go to constitutionwealth.com/blaze, and if you do, you can sign up for a free consultation today. That's constitutionwealth.com/blaze. Again, that's constitutionwealth.com/blaze. So, Aaron, you used the phrase earlier, incomprehensible evil, talking about the first video we showed from our new friends at Choice for Two, which is choice42.com. Choice42.com is the website, which is for Choice for Two, the number 4, 2, the number 2. What is the source of this incomprehensible evil? Is this something new? Let's get answers to those questions with this second video from Choice 42.
Child sacrifice. Barbaric. Evil. Ancient. Modern. There's nothing new under the sun. Throughout history, children have been sacrificed to a variety of deities in attempts to gain favor or blessings. Aztecs cut their children's hearts out to appease the gods of rain and war. Incas sacrificed their children to the sun god so their crops would flourish. Canaanites sacrificed their infants to Moloch for prosperity. Drums were played loudly to drown out the baby's screams. Child sacrifice never stopped, and we still don't hear their screams. There's nothing new under the sun. We sacrifice our children today, not for rain or war victories, but for freedom or convenience. We sacrifice to gain favor in the workplace, or for the blessings of money or fame. We sacrifice our babies on the altar of free sex. Child sacrifice is no longer a public event. It's done behind closed doors. Rather than a gory burning or bloody stabbing, it's become a neat, sterile, and clinical event. We don't throw our children into the fire or leave them to freeze to death. We starve our babies. We poison them. We rip off their arms and legs and crush their skulls. We call it choice. We call it empowerment. And our culture condones it. We celebrate it. We celebrate baby murder. We consider it vital to our existence. It's become a right. But nothing is different. There's nothing new under the sun. Innocent human beings are still being sacrificed for the selfish gains of those more powerful. Modern child sacrifice is thriving. We must end it. End abortion.
Gentlemen, your thoughts on that second video?
That's fantastic. It was finishing my sentences for me, and the next visual would often be where I was hoping it would go. But there's a lot of false religion is at the heart of all of this human sacrifice. False notions of God. The same is true now. Now our worship of self, our narcissism, our idolatry, same thing. It's important to get at the connective tissue in a new way. We failed all the ways in the past to connect the dots in ways that matter to people. And the words that's not used in there, but applies way back in the day when they were doing this, is it's comfort. People were sacrificing an other so they could be comfortable themselves. I swear it's important you understand this. It's not rhetorical flourish. This need to make that man in the mirror safe and comfortable all the time is a killer of the soul. It pushes God to the fringes. It mistakes who he is. And it flat out murders others in all ways, shapes, or forms. Look at now, we are in the Pride Month now. Look already, right out of the gate, the horrificness of what's already being reported, what they're just shamefully doing to make the earth flat for themselves. Everybody else must pay. So that comfort I talk about is not a new thing. That is timeless. That is embedded in that entire video. Look at that. In order to bring the cops on time, make it rain, we got to sacrifice the babies. But I don't want to hear about it or know about it, so let's beat those drums. That's what that is. It's making the people doing it comfortable. Everybody is so sedated right now in this culture. That's what we're not citizens. Citizens should not be like this. We're drugged. The idiocracy may have been prophecy, but the real idiocracy does not have a laugh track, folks. It murders people. It murders babies. Like that.
Aaron?
There is indeed nothing new under the sun. 1 John chapter 2:16, for all that's in the world, the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and the pride of life is not from the Father, but is from the world. It's talking about fleshly desires. The verse before that, don't love the world or the things in the world, is talking about the created order. No, it's talking about the world, the fleshly world, our fleshly desires that would come from our fallen natures. And you see, I thought about that verse as it was going through what we sacrifice, the babies that we sacrifice in order to attain promotion at work, celebrity, economic status of some way or stripe. It's the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, the pride of life. That's maybe a simple reading of that. Those things are of the world. God gives us desires. If they're not channeled towards him, though, we eventually become like that. We either will sacrifice others for ourselves, or we will sacrifice ourselves for him. That's the bottom line. One way or another, it's just so patently obvious and explicit in the sacrifice, or in the practice of human sacrifice, which we refer to as abortion. Very medicalized term. It becomes more and more explicit as a society, as cultures turn away from the one who gives life. And that's where we are right now in this culture, in Western civilization by and large. For all of the accoutrements, I love that word, of modern living, for all the buildings that we see with our eyes, for all of the technology that you're watching right here, for all of the comforts that we get to enjoy, and too many of us enjoy, I think, far too much. They're just different skins on the same sins. You know, in video games, you can customize your characters. It's called skins, different skins. Just different skins on the same sins. They go all the way back. We think we've progressed beyond Amazonia, the Aztecs, the Mayas. No. You turn your back on God, you're going to become like the backwards fools you put down. That's the end game. That's all. I think an undefeated truth of the human condition. You think you've progressed beyond those Amazonian witch doctors? No. We've had this conversation in different contexts before. It's just a different skin. It's a much more pretty-looking skin on the same sins.
And to that very point, Aaron, after watching those two videos, think of what the modern excuse both Christian men and women often have. I wouldn't do it, but, you know, if it's somebody else's choice. That's, if you claim any notion of Christ and you'll have that as your answer in your heart with any knowledge of those two videos, which we do, Isn't that one of the most heinous things you can possibly say or believe? That's one hell of a sin. And let's face, Steve, we've talked about that, of what we've heard from Christian families and parents within our orbit locally. I know I've heard that from many Catholic parents. That comes from people are basically good kind of template, and it's infecting all of us in our comfort. We would not, if we thought we actually had sin to worry about, we wouldn't let ourselves get this comfortable.
You're both completely right in everything you said. I want to, one more time, give tremendous credit to the folks from Choice 42 in Canada for producing these videos. Go to their website, choice42.com, the number 4, the number 2, choice42.com. There are plenty more videos like this. Click on the video sections. You'll see the videos that we showed you here. There's others on other topics. They're developing a whole series of these. I mean, I think we need to blow these people up. These videos need to be seen by many more people. I think every single one of us should be embedding these on our Facebook pages, our social media accounts, particularly the procedure to start with. I think it is time to confront people with what this really is. Now, we can debate, should you go from 0 to 60? That's what I love about this approach using animation. I mean, it does all the work while putting it in a form that most people would view as quote unquote acceptable. And yet the conscience is pricked nevertheless. Look at the language we use. I'm you're pro-choice, or I wouldn't use any of that kind of language. I've said this for years. I wouldn't even use the word abortion. I mean, did we come up with a technical euphemism for serial killers? What do we just call them? Serial killers. I think we ought to just say we're killing babies. These are serial killers. We're murdering children. These are baby murdering organizations. We all ought to be saying these things on national platforms when we get on. I'll tell you why we don't. What Todd said, comfort. Well, they won't invite me back on. So? So what? I mean, I would count it all joy to be banned for reasons like that from polite society. I think we need a reminder here. If you're like me, and you sat here 2 years ago, nearly in tears, watching the shibboleth of the damned, Roe versus Wade, smashed, and would have never guessed in a million years that 2 Junes later, you'd be sitting here thinking, we're actually further behind than we were before we did that. How did this happen? And I mean, I thought I was about as jaded on Big Baby and fake pro-life organizations and groups as anybody, man. I've had more than my share of run-ins with them. I would defy you. Go find a pro-life show with a platform as large as mine that also isn't invited to the March for Life. I'll get invited there around the same time I'll get invited to CPAC, guys. And for all the same reasons, okay? Because I'm calling out largely all the same people. And even I am stunned. Even I cannot believe we've lost so much ground that now the guy who helped, the guy that was the cudgel, the tip of the spear that allowed us to overturn Roe, is now lobbying to overturn pro-life laws in other states, including his own. I would have never guessed that 2 years ago. How did this happen? We've focused on elections. We have focused on statistics and polls. And we've let people get away with understanding what the focus really is. And all those things are the result of what the focus really is, or at least should be. And what the focus really is this is demonic barbarism. And it has to be ended. Period. And more people need to be confronted with this. Starting in our own ranks, I'm getting emails from people. I'm more convicted than ever before. I'm crying here. That's step one. for us to be reminded of what this is really about. What is going on inside these places? What's happening there? We know the end result of it. We see the barrels with the baby parts rolled out as medical waste. But what took place from the time the woman walked in there to commit murder, and then the barrels of baby parts came out the back door? What took place in between? And after all, if this is like any other medical, I mean, we've got the what's that woman's name? The popper, where she pops like massive growths and massive zits and
Dr.
stuff.
Pimple popper.
Yeah, she's doing that on TV. Okay, let's test that, shall we? Are we sure it's just like any other medical? If so, then shouldn't have any problems with these kinds of videos, then, should we?
Just science.
Just science, after all. The science, even, perhaps, which is the highest, most exalted kind of science these days, if it's the science. Indeed. Let's find out. And this is where you can take dominion where you are. Let's make these videos very popular. Now, there'll be some inconvenience. You'll get some blowback. Friends, family, you're radical, blah, 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 blah. Once was a man wearing sackcloth and ash, and he sat out in the middle of the street calling the king a whoremonger in broad daylight in front of the people, demanding he repent. His name was John. Jesus said of him, God incarnate said of him, no man born of women ever been more blessed than he. He was pretty radical.
He was.
He was. Not calling for you to be radical, but maybe just a little bit less comfortable. Romans 8:28.
This is Steve Deace.
Gun Talk.
Eric Suarez, welcome in, man.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Just give people, a backstory of how'd you get into this whole thing?
Joined the Marine Corps at 17, wound up retiring in 2016 at just over 18 years.
You're not there for the 4 years of free college or whatever?
No, and at the time I went in 98.
3 years later, everything changed? You got serious?
It did, and then, but it was fun. I mean, you learn more about yourself in a short amount of time than ever.
Gun Talk, Sundays on Blaze Radio Network.
Sarah Gonzalez, Unfiltered.
I call it weak. Maybe I shouldn't. To you and I, it's weak. We view it as weak, but it's also 100% intentional. So I'm not sure that I can say weak. I'm not sure that I can use that rhetoric. You think it's a coincidence that they're inviting criminals into the country at the same time that they're releasing violent criminals into our streets at the same time they're trying to eliminate your ability to defend yourself? It's not a coincidence.
Sarah Gonzalez, Unfiltered. Watch on demand at blazetv.com.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-822-3396. 888-822-3396. Sponsored by GP Agency Inc., Raleigh, NC. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult your financial professional before making an investment decision.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-507-3137. 800-507-3137. 800-507-3137. That's 800-507-3137. Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-683-5921. 800-683-5921. 800-683-5921. That's 800-683-5921.
Stu Does America.
There's a part of me that's like, well, people won't want this and they'll push back against it and people will stand up and they won't. But at the end of the day, what people like are things that work and that are easy. People no longer know how to get anywhere because they no longer have a sense of direction because GPS is there and it works really well. It's just true. And I just don't see a world in which people are not going to look at this AI stuff and really like it. So I think there's a real focus that needs to be put on from conservative thinkers in particular to be able to cut through this whole process and kind of get into these worlds. You need those voices inside of these companies forming this AI, helping to form it, help it to at least make it balanced, because I don't think it's going anywhere, and we all know what direction this is going to end up in if we do not push back.
Stu Does America on Blaze Radio Network.
Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever podcasts are found.
Fearless with Jason Whitlock.
What has happened to the sports media world because of Stephen A. Smith and because of ESPN and a choice that ESPN made. ESPN had a decision to make in the early 2000s. What was going to be the direction of the worldwide leader in sports? And I would analogize it to hip-hop and a choice that it had in the 1990s.
Fearless with Jason Whitlock, only on the Blaze Radio Network.
Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever podcasts are found.
It's always great to get the news right from the horse's mouth, instead of, the other end. That's why you'll want to check out Glenn's TV show every Wednesday night on Blaze TV. And if you didn't know already, subscribers get a bonus episode on Fridays. So check it out, blazetv.com.
This is an encore presentation of the Glenn Beck Program. Listen live Monday through Friday from 9 to noon Eastern on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to the fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. This is the Glenn Beck Program.
Oh, welcome. Great to have you with us. Pat Gray and Jeffy here for Glenn. Stu today. Stu's back tomorrow. Glenn's out this week. And man, is there a lot going on. Of course, the repercussions from the Trump conviction continue. Man, it's agonizing. It really is agonizing. We'll get into that and a lot more in 60 seconds. If you're living with everyday aches and pains, there are a lot of different things you can try. You could tough it out. You could bite the bullet. You could grin and bear it. I don't know if you know this, but that only really works in TV and movies. Or you could try something that has helped so many other people. Relief Factor. It's a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that address the inflammation in your body, and that's normally where pain starts. And it doesn't just mask your pain for a short time. It helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. Wherever you're hurting, your back, your neck, your joints, muscles. In about 3 weeks or less, you'll see a difference and rediscover what it's like to feel better and live better. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with the mind over matter approach. Try Relief Factor instead. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor. All right. So Donald Trump convicted, as we talked about last week, on 34 different charges. He only faces 54 more. So there's that. But that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Just that's it. Right around 90 charges. And, he's been convicted on all of them so far. I was thinking about this over the weekend with family members. And, these last couple of trials that Trump has been involved in have been absolutely insane.
They have.
The rape trial where he supposedly raped Jean Carroll or whatever her name is. Jean Carroll, right? Yes. At Bergdorf Goodman?
Yes, that's correct.
Where they keep the dressing rooms locked?
That's correct.
Yeah. Where you got to go to you have to go to one of the employees to get the door unlocked, right? So was he like, excuse me, I am really hot for this Jean over here. And I think I'm going to take her into one of these rooms.
Well, that may have happened.
And have my way with her.
None of the employees recall it.
Yeah. In fact, none of them knew about it. None of them saw anything like that.
It's the same store where you pretty much have to, they have men paying attention to you when you're there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just don't wander around by yourself.
Yeah, not Bergdorf Goodman.
Right.
They're concerned about theft, for one thing. And so they're watching for that. But also, she can't even remember what year it happened.
Correct.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty typical, though.
So we have that.
I don't know. I was raped sometime in the 90s. I don't remember. 94, 95, 96, 98, 91. I don't know.
Sure, and we changed the statute of limitation law. And, and he's guilty.
Yeah, and he's liable. It wasn't a criminal trial, so he was liable. $83 million he now owes her. Okay, so there's that. Then you stack on top of that the insanity that was this trial in New York where we don't even know what he's charged with to make it a felony. And still don't know what he's been convicted of, really. And so, I mean, even if he did have a night or two with Stormy Daniels and then he paid her off to keep her quiet.
Okay.
There's no proof that he did that for election purposes, which is what they were, which is what makes it criminal. Right. Campaign funds being used to cover that up.
Right.
When he could have just paid her off to keep it quiet from Melania.
Which, if you believe that it actually happened, then you believe that's probably the case, right?
Right. I mean, and how many candidates have ever covered up their affairs to try to win an election? It's not like that was the first time ever.
No, it is not.
Man, from John Edwards, who covered up his dalliances.
Right.
Remember that?
Paid for his baby and all.
Yeah. So, and his sick wife was none the wiser.
Right.
Remember that?
Yes.
I mean, the John Edwards thing was really despicable. You had the guy in the 80s, Gary Hart. Follow me around. So
okay, we will.
They did, and found out he was cheating on his wife.
Not the best thing to dare the press.
So stupid. But they tried to cover up all of those things to win an election.
Yeah.
Come on. It's just so bizarre. But it doesn't matter because, they convicted him anyway. And so what's this going to mean? We don't know yet, really. We don't know if he's going to actually be sentenced to prison. A lot of people think so.
I mean,
some do not.
It would be.
I'd almost be surprised if he isn't put in prison.
I would be surprised if he isn't. With this judge doing the sentencing, and it happening just before the convention,
right? 4 days before the convention.
I would find it very difficult to believe that this judge isn't going to sentence him to jail. And by the way, we're going to sentence you to jail, and you're going right now, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting the cuffs on, and you're going to jail right now.
Right.
And we're going to get the perp walk shot. All of it is happening right now.
Honestly, I would be surprised if that doesn't happen.
I know.
I'd be pleasantly surprised, but I can't believe with this guy that he won't do that.
I know.
He's given every indication that he just hates Trump, and he's done everything he can to see to it that he's convicted. And it worked out. So congratulations on that.
But didn't Stormy speak out today, though? Or this weekend?
She spoke out this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yes, she did.
Because I mean, I don't know why we care.
About Stormy?
Yeah, I mean, go away.
Yeah, I know.
Your minute of fame is done.
She said a couple of things this weekend.
You know, I mean, if you give me a free DVD, I may or may not take a look at it.
I may not.
Really?
Yeah, I may not.
I still have a may in there. I might plug it in.
She did say to Melania, she broke her silence because she was silent.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah, she was silent for a full 5 or 10 minutes. And then she spoke out. And so people were like, wow, she held that in a long time. But what she did was issue a challenge for Melania to leave him.
Oh, there you go.
Meaning Donald, of course.
Yeah.
And, I really think that's what Melania's been waiting for. The go-ahead from the lying sack of crap porn star, Stormy Daniels. Oh, she said, leave him now. I'm out of here. I'm packing my bags today, and I'm going to go.
I knew it.
She also said that she was slut-shamed by Donald Trump's female lawyer, and you hate to see that. For any of these wonderful porn stars that they would, who have slept with other people's husbands. You hate to see them slut-shamed.
You're porn-shaming and slut-shaming at the same time?
I think it might be appropriate at this point. I don't know. Is it ever appropriate to slut shame or porn shame? I guess not, because there's no shame anymore, right? We shouldn't be ashamed of anything. So,
and they're not.
No, that's for sure. And so now she's all bold and believes that, I guess we're going to listen to everything she ever says now, and she's going to become a big star, and we're going to have her around for a good long time. Be able to talk about Stormy Daniels for years to come. Won't that be great?
Won't it?
Won't that be nice? Oh, man. I can't wait. Can't wait to see what reality show she pops up on.
And that will happen soon.
Oh, it's got to be, right?
That will happen soon, yeah.
It has to. Because the left is going to find a place for her where they can stick her in our face all the time. Because, she pulled this off.
Do we have Data Porn Star yet? We have, we need to make, that needs to be a reality show. That show needs to happen.
Right? Well, it's probably in the works right now of course, Stormy's married. Will that stop her, though?
Well, I mean, she could host it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want her to break any vows of marriage. Are you kidding me? No.
No, because I don't think she'd consider that.
No, that's what I mean. No.
There's no way she would consider cheating on her husband.
Do that.
No, it's silly. It's silly to even bring it up. So, yes, the left got exactly what they wanted last Thursday night, and Donald Trump was convicted on all 34 counts. So they spent Friday gloating about it. Like hideous Whoopi Goldberg, at what we like to call, lovingly, of course, the coven, with the witches also known as The View. Here's what Whoopi Goldberg had to say.
Welcome back. We only have about 34 seconds left, so to recap, guilty, 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 guilty.
That's clever.
Everyone.
Yes, you got it in too.
Did you count? Was it 34?
I counted I was ahead of her, so I'm giving her that she had got at least 34 in. She may have even tagged a couple more.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Hope you're looking good, though.
That's subjective, I'd say.
The Ozempic is working. She's looking good.
Good in this case is in the eye of the Jeffy and the Jeffy only.
The Ozempic is working. She looks fine.
She's lost some weight, obviously. Yeah, she doesn't have to wear the muumuu anymore, which is nice. Except that you sell them. You sell them, and that's not nice.
Jeffy. No, it's hurting my sales, actually.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. But she had 34 seconds. She said guilty 34 times because there were 34 guilty verdicts.
Right.
Yeah. See how clever that was?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That's brilliant.
Right.
That's really, really brilliant. So good for her for doing that. That was
cackling hands around her.
Very clever. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how that show is still on the air. I mean, every single time we play a clip, I've never watched the show, but the clips are agonizing enough. I don't know how people watch that.
The only time I ever
how is it possible?
Say that I guess technically watch it is if it's on like in a doctor's office or something. I've been to a couple of appointments where it's on in the office.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
okay.
But that's only as long as I can.
But at home, have you ever said, "Oh my gosh, The View is on.
No.
I got to turn over to The View"? Never.
Not once.
Not once. Not ever. And it's been on for
what?
I
watch a lot of TV.
It's been on at least 25 years, maybe more.
Well, a long time.
Terrible.
Barbara Walters started that a long time ago.
Long time ago. Yeah. And it's still
and part of ABC News. It's still under their banner.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how it's still on.
I don't either. They're never right about anything. They're never accurate. They lie through their teeth. They get facts wrong all the time. They don't understand what's going on with the news. And yet, it's a part of ABC News.
Sure is.
Every single day. It's really incredible. More coming up in 1 minute.
NMLS 182334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. APR for rates in the 5 starts at 6.799% for well-qualified borrowers. Call 800-906-2440 for details about credit costs and terms.
You know, things could always be worse, and there's a pretty good chance that they will be. But sometimes they could also be better, especially if you plan correctly. I want you to imagine for a moment, if you're not there already, what it would be like to get yourself completely out of debt. If you're a homeowner, chances are good American Financing knows how to get you to that place. You need to look at your spending, your finances, your debt. Better yet, let American Financing do that for you. They're helping people just like you get out from under that debt burden and start to realize significant savings. They never charge any upfront or hidden fees, and that's just one of the many reasons. They have over 7,200 Google reviews and a 4.7 star rating. That's really hard with that many reviews because you got a whole bunch of boneheads who just, I'm going to give him one.
Yeah.
And they don't even know who you are. They've never dealt with you.
I don't like the way she sounded.
Right. Call American Financing today. And if you do, you might not have to make next month mortgage payment. They're honest and they work for you, not for the bank. Don't take my word for it. Do your homework. Call them and find out for yourself. Call American Financing at 800-906-2440 or go to AmericanFinancing.net.
10 seconds, station identification.
Joe Biden spoke out on the Trump verdict, too. This is great stuff. You know, the President of the United States speaking out. Here we go. Can't wait.
President, just like everyone else, has that opportunity. That's how the American system of justice works.
Oh, right.
And it's reckless. It's dangerous. It's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
Really?
Our justice system has endured for nearly 250 years.
Despite you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. It's being radically tested right now because of this guy, the cadaver in chief. Radically tested.
It all started with Mr. President, my boss, Obama.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was asked if he was involved in the Trump prosecution.
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump
away.
refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign?
I can't take it.
He wants
We'd love
to
to
say
hear your
something
thoughts,
there,
sir.
too.
He does.
The handlers are like, get off.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got his little thing in his ear, and they're telling him, keep walking.
Because that's
Mr.
where
President.
he loves
Keep
to
walking.
go off the rails right there, too, when he comes back.
Yep. It's almost impossible for him, but
I know.
He's gotten into trouble for it too many times, and so he just keeps walking.
Well, I mean, it just depends on how much medication he's had for that day.
Kind of interestingly, though, the Trump campaign has turned that very moment into a new ad. I think we have that. Do we have that somewhere? The Trump ad.
This
check
is the
this
final
out.
battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all.
Okay, there's that one, which is really pretty good.
Yes, it is.
That's pretty good. But it's the other one that uses that moment.
Right.
This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent.
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir?
Pretty effective.
Yes.
Pretty effective. He just stops and smiles like that.
I know.
That sort of evil, I am Satan sort of look that he gives you. And it's ominous.
Yes, it is.
They definitely accentuate that moment. That's really good stuff from the Trump campaign. I like that a lot.
I mean, it seems to be working.
I hope so. He's
Right.
down to 34% now. Approval rating, 34%. I'm not sure which poll that was, but it was just a major poll that was just done over the weekend. And he was at 36%.
Yeah.
And before that, the month before that, it was 38%. So he's gone 38, 36, 34 in the last 2 months. It's amazing. Now, that's still way too high. Obviously, he should have less than 1% approval.
81 million votes.
But 81 million votes, yeah.
So
Some of
that's
those
why it's 34%.
are apparently being eaten away.
Oh, yes, big time.
You know, I don't think Jimmy Carter's rating was that low at this stage of his presidency. I think this is the lowest ever since the polls have been taken like this. We should look at it because 34% is incredible for a sitting president. We should look at Nixon's because I think his were higher, and Carter's, and those would be the two that you would think, okay, well they got to be lower than Joe Biden, right?
Right.
But I don't.
Speaking of Jimmy Carter,
think so.
I mean, how long you got to be in hospice?
Yeah, I know. He just keeps hanging on.
He will not.
Is he 100 now?
I don't know.
I think he is. He's like 117, in fact. Early 120s, somewhere in there.
I was just thinking.
But the guy is like he just never ends. It's like cockroaches. You can't stop them.
Doesn't the hospice kick you out after a while?
I don't know. But it's been, 8 years in hospice?
Forever.
And forever. I mean, I don't want him to die, but holy cow, he's hanging in there. Good for him. 888-900. No. We'll tell you about it later.
Glenn Beck.
Ah, boy. Okay. It's 888-700. Huh? Yeah, 888-727 BECK is what it is. Jeez. I've done too many shows this morning. On May 5th, at around 1:30 in the afternoon in Israel, there was a direct rocket hit on a soup kitchen that the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews supports. Thank heaven no one was killed in that attack, but the building was damaged. And you know what happened? They reopened it for business the same day. That's what happened. Because the need for food, especially for those who can't afford to leave the war zone, is really great. This is the caliber of people working for and with the IFCJ. While praying for the best, IFCJ is preparing for the worst by packing emergency bomb shelter kits that can be delivered immediately to those in desperate need. Please consider standing and protecting the Jewish people by providing an emergency bomb shelter kit. The number to call to make your gift is 888-488-IFCJ. That's 888-488-IFCJ or 4325, or go online to supportifcj.org to give. That's one word, supportifcj.org.
Gun Talk.
We just got the biggest breaking story of the week, of the month, could be of the year, who knows. Right now on the phone is my friend Aaron Olger from Hodgson. And Aaron, what is your news?
So we are announced that Hodgson Powder Company has purchased the RCBS Reloading brand. We are taking over the RCBS brand and we'll be running that as a subsidiary of the Hodgson Powder Company.
Gun Talk, Sundays on Blaze Radio Network.
Stu Does America.
Crap going on in the news, and you look at these university protests, you're like, gosh, have we all gone insane? Then you look at that poll, and it's like 80-20 support of Israel over Hamas, and you're like, okay, maybe that's good news. But I challenge you to think about it for a second. This is not Israel versus the Palestinian people. This is not Israel versus innocent, homeless people on the streets. The question is specifically Israel versus Hamas, the country of Israel, our ally, versus a known terrorist group that just wound up murdering 1,200 people a few weeks ago. But I mean, this should not be 80-20. We should not be happy with 80-20. 80-20 means 20% of our country sports terrorism.
Stu Does America on Blaze Radio Network.
Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever podcasts are found.
Are you a writer who has devoted your time to writing a book with Christian morals behind it, but need help publishing it? Covenant Books has helped thousands of faith-based authors publish, edit, and sell their books. Covenant Books will help tell your story by printing, marketing, and distributing your book through specialty Christian bookstores and major online book retailers like Amazon, Apple, and many others. Covenant Books. Let us help tell your story. For your free author's information packet, call 1-800-675-5178. That's 800-675-5178.
At Smoky Bones, we began house smoking and barbecuing meat to perfection in 1999. We've brought mouth-watering flavor to our guests ever since. And we're saying cheers to 25 smoking years by rolling back prices to what they were then. So come in now and get a half rack of St. Louis-style ribs with 2 sides for just $9.99, or make it a full rack for just $14.99. It's time to feast like it's 1999. Smoky Bones. Meat is what we do. All supplies last.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp now for free information on how to get started today. InventHelp provides invention services that help everyday inventors get started with their idea. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. Our services include professional materials needed to showcase your invention, and 3D animation and prototype modeling that help you demonstrate your idea. Get down to the details of your idea with a technical drawing. The InventHelp Databank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Take advantage of the opportunity to get started today.
Call 1-800-352-1408. That's 1-800-352-1408. Again, 1-800-352-1408.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-822-3396. 888-822-3396. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, NC. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult your financial professional before making an investment decision.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-683-5921. 800-683-5921. 800-683-5921. That's 800-683-5921.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-507-3137. 800-507-3137. 800-507-3137. That's 800-507-3137.
This is a national healthcare alert from the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one has diabetes, listen closely. Now, regardless of your age, if you have insurance, you may qualify to receive diabetic testing supplies with little to no out-of-pocket cost. Get free delivery, free information, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers for free. Call the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline now for details. Toll free at this number. But wait, there's more. If you call right now, you could get a meter upgrade. In addition, we'll give you a free pair of diabetic socks as our special gift to you. Regardless of your age, if you suffer with diabetes and have insurance, you may qualify to get free delivery of your supplies.
800-443-0645. 800-443-0645. 800-443-0645. That's 800-443-0645.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble.
Help!
I could barely move.
Help!
I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
Call 1-800-425-6319 for your free Life Alert brochure. That's 1-800-425-6319. Again, 1-800-425-6319. Call for your free Life Alert brochure at 1-800-425-6319. 1-800-425-6319 today.
The Steve Day Show.
What is he dying for? So it is accomplished now. If you go to the more precise translation, it makes you ask, what was just accomplished by the murder of this man? What was accomplished? You know what I'm saying? What's accomplished is the wrath of God is satisfied. There needs to be no more sacrifices now. The lamb slain before the foundation of the world has given his life.
The Steve Day Show. Watch on demand at blazetv.com.
Pat Gray, Jeff Fisher for Glenn today, and Stu as well. Stu will be back tomorrow. We were talking about the approval rating of Joe Biden, which is at 34%.
34.
Actually, I guess in the final presidential polls of some of these presidents in the last 50 or 60 years, a few of them have been around that level.
Well, yeah, according to this compiled data from the Gallup poll from the American Presidency Project, they say that Trump, W, Jimmy, we're all at 34 for the final
so it's tied.
Approval.
But this is not his final. So
right.
He could go
he
lower
could go
than
down.
that.
Now, the lowest, according to this, was Richard Nixon.
Oh, yeah.
At 24.
That was Watergate, the height of Watergate, and things were not going well for him
Now,
at that
Truman
point.
left with 32.
My dad, I'll never forget, I was just a kid at the time.
Nixon.
But my dad loved Richard Nixon at first. But, man, did Watergate turn him.
Yeah, it turned a lot.
He did not like him at the end.
I mean, you do one little burglary.
Right. And one little cover-up. One little burglary, one little cover-up, and then...
Next thing you know, people don't like you.
Yeah. So picky. So picky. That had to be the dumbest crime in American history. Seriously.
Still, though.
What are you doing breaking into George McGovern's campaign headquarters when you're up by 90 points?
Yeah.
I mean literally.
You were the guy.
Almost literally had no chance.
Your dad was not alone. I mean, there were plenty of Americans that loved Richard Nixon.
Oh, yeah. They did. They did love him.
There was no point in any of it.
We got to play ping pong in China because of Nixon's diplomacy.
You actually went.
Right? Yeah. Uh-huh.
You and your dad and the family?
My dad. Yeah, we were all there in China watching the
That's
ping
awesome.
pong going on. Yeah, it was
That's
great.
awesome.
It's great. Really fun. We had a good time. I think it was Peking at that time.
Yes, I believe
we had a good time in Peking. But, he did some good things. He started the process that got us out of Vietnam.
Yeah.
So he slowed down that madness and got us out. He did the relations with China. He took us off the gold standard, which was an absolute nightmare. Stupid move.
Yeah, that was.
That we paid for ever since.
Come on, man.
But what a dumb move to break into the headquarters of George McGovern when you're up by 1,000 points on the guy. I don't even understand it. Did he even win his home state? I think that wasn't that a complete sweep in 72?
I don't remember. It may have been, though.
I mean, I think that was a bigger blowout than Reagan against Mondale.
It probably was.
So, I don't know. Just seemingly stupid. But he was down to 24%. Right?
Yeah,
Did we mention that?
Yeah, down
24% at the height of Watergate. So, not good. Anyway, Jeffy's got a Fat Five for us.
All right, let's rock and roll. Chewing the Fat Five. You can subscribe to my daily show, Chewing the Fat, available wherever you get your podcast. Yes,
but how much will that cost me?
Right now, today.
Yeah.
Free.
Wow.
Free of charge.
You continue to fight the good fight for us.
Choose a platform that warms your innards, and you just subscribe to Chewing the Fat with Jeff.
Nice. Okay.
No charge to you.
No charge. Okay.
You're welcome. So your girl, J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez.
She's my girl?
She's your girl.
Okay.
She canceled her summer North American tour.
Oh, she's
canceled.
She's trying to save her marriage.
This is me.
But also, nobody's
live,
buying her tickets.
Just weeks before it was set to begin. Right.
But really, it's all about her family. She's trying to save
that's
her
what
family.
she said.
Yeah, I know.
Just desire to spend time with
the
her
fact
family
that
and close
nobody
friends.
is buying a single ticket to that show,
Well, she
that
did
had
sell some
nothing to do
tickets.
with it. Nothing.
She did sell some tickets. There were a couple of cities that did actually sell some tickets, but most of them were really struggling.
Yeah,
and they had already canceled like 7 of the 24 dates or how many ever it was.
I think Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodriguez have cleaned everybody out.
Beyonce too. Beyonce and Taylor took everybody's money, no doubt about that. Yeah, we're done with that. So and plus.
I saw the average.
Things are tough in the old Bennifer world these days. So
the average resale of the Olivia Rodrigo tour, $561 a ticket.
Yeah.
Average. Wow.
Plus, she still wants to have that Vegas residency deal, J-Lo. And that was in peril without selling these concert tickets.
Oh, really?
Because they had offered her, I think, $1 million a show. I think it was $1 million, but it was a lot of money to perform at the MGM. And then they were like, we might want to rethink what we're doing and paying J-Lo. She's not selling any tickets anywhere across the country. We're going to pay her a whole lot less. So, good luck. Good luck.
Did they revise their offer?
I don't know that because there was no deal signed. So they were the report was that they were going to revise their offer, but maybe with this saves her. For a deal in Vegas?
I don't know a J-Lo music fan. Do you? Have you ever met anybody who says, whose music I absolutely love is that Jennifer Lopez? Man, is she great. I don't know. I've never heard those words come out of anybody's mouth ever.
That Jennifer Lopez, man.
Yeah?
I love her.
You love her music?
I mean, she foot the bill for the movie, right? She spent a bunch of her own money, like millions of her own money to foot the bill for her movie, J-Lo, This Is Me Now.
Really?
Or Live, whatever the movie was that was on Prime. I mean, and I don't know what she sold it to the streaming platforms for, but it wasn't $20 million. But I don't know. I mean, she's spent a lot of money on herself.
Yeah,
and she gambled on herself and
lost.
Apparently, she lost. Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, I am a fan.
That happens.
I like.
Oh,
I like seeing her on the street.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
Yeah. I mean,
do you see her on the street from time to time here in Dallas?
Hey, J-Lo, what's up, baby?
Yeah.
Jenny on the block. What's up, Jenny from the block? But that's it. I couldn't tell you. I
couldn't name a Jennifer Lopez
I don't know
song.
that I could either.
You couldn't.
I'm
sure they're terrific.
They are.
I'm sure they are.
They are. They are definitely terrific. The Boeing launch that was to be this past Saturday delayed again, which is delayed from the original launch almost a month ago. So about 4 minutes before liftoff on Saturday.
Are we getting close to where they just scrap it?
This thing. I don't know. They claim that they're going to try to go tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay.
Again.
And where are they launching from? Is it from Florida?
Yes, from Cape Canaveral.
Because if it's here, that's not going to launch. There's just too much.
Too much cloud cover.
We are in an absolute deluge system right now. We get pounded about every 2 hours.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
But
rain lately.
They needed time to assess the ground support equipment issue, and they're going to assess all that. NASA said it was stopped due to the computer ground launch sequencer not loading into the correct operational configuration after proceeding into terminal count.
Yeah,
so
I hate that.
Me too.
Terminal
count.
The two
astronauts have been living in isolation. I don't know what they're. I mean, it's time to. It's all. They spent a lot of money. Elon and Boeing got money at the same time. Has Elon been successful with his rocket launches?
Kind of seems like it.
Yeah, he has. He's already been launching them. Boeing hasn't done. I mean, this is their first time. This is their first manned launch.
Wow.
With all the money that the government gave them, so maybe they need to pull the plug on this and pay attention to what's happening. I don't know domestically with some of their airplanes. That would be just me. At the same time, we had the Chinese lunar lander touching down on the far side of the moon
again
in a mission to collect and return rock samples. They're trying to lay their claim to the moon. No,
that's ours.
No, the moon belongs to the United States of America.
We've been there 6 times already with people. We've got a flag there.
It does not belong to you.
No,
we own it. So good luck to the Boeing, Starliner, NASA people. All good. More postponements this weekend. The boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Postponed.
I've been looking forward to that.
I have too. It was originally scheduled for July 20th. Tyson received medical attention for an ulcer flare-up. The medical professionals advised him to lighten training for a few weeks to rest and recover. And, of course, both Mike and Jake are in agreement that it's only fair to ensure that both athletes have equal training time to prepare for this important match. So it's going to be still held at AT&T Stadium. That's what they claim. It's going to be rescheduled later this year. They said they're going to release the new date sometime this week.
Okay.
So we'll see. There was all these, I I guess it didn't matter that Netflix was going to air it live, right? So Netflix would just air it live whenever it happens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Today's sponsor of the Fat Five is Kexi Cookies, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Simply the best cookie on the planet. Get your Father's Day orders in right now and unwrap the ultimate Father's Day surprise. Kexi Cookies, Kexi.com, Keki.com.
Yeah. Some really good cookies in this box. In this Father's Day box. The box itself is really cool. But you get the s'mores, maple bacon, the plumber. Some people call it the kitchen sink. Raspberry lemonade, chocolate chip, and peanut butter. All delicious. Kexi.com.
That really wasn't part of the paid commercial. I don't know why.
It is now.
Okay.
It is now.
CPAPs could be a thing of the past.
Mm-hmm.
The continuous positive airway pressure. That's the CPAP machine. It forces air into the body via a face mask and is the most common treatment for the
I couldn't
OSA.
do it.
Yeah, a lot of people
can't
can't
anymore, fortunately, but I couldn't do it when I needed it.
A lot of people can't.
Just can't.
So there's currently no drug approved for the treatment of sleep apnea, but the makers of a new pill are hoping to change that.
Oh.
Researchers at Apnimed, which is a Massachusetts-based company, have developed a drug called AD109. And the experimental drug is a combination of eroxabutynin, which is to treat symptoms of an overactive bladder, and atomextine, which is used to treat ADHD.
I love atomexine.
Both drugs
really
are designed to help people asleep. And so in the tandem, they keep the person's airway from collapsing during the night.
Oh.
So they're saying that there's shown clinically meaningful improvement in sleep apnea. So we'll see phase 2 trials start soon. We'll see if it actually
That'll be a huge drug,
happens.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, between Ozempic and Mounjaro and now this thing for sleep apnea, there's some really good stuff coming down. I was reading over the weekend, too. I don't know if it's real. About an Alzheimer drug. You read about that?
Yeah, there was a story about
showing
Alzheimer's.
a real
I think
promise.
We talked about that. Yeah, China was released. China was talking about a diabetes drug too.
This thing that I was reading said it could be the first $20 trillion drug ever.
Oof.
That'd be something.
No doubt about it. And in other health news, we have the bird flu continuing to spread. You know, we have the Michigan farm worker that tested positive for avian influenza, which marks the third patient this year. Really, that's the fourth overall. The 67 herds in 9 states have been affected. And this was last week. This may have even gone up now. According to the U.S. Agricultural Department, in addition to herds in Michigan, we have dairy cattle in Colorado, Kansas, Idaho, New Mexico, North Carolina, Ohio, South Dakota, and Texas have also tested positive for bird flu. No worries, though, because we have a new mRNA vaccine shown to be effective in preventing animal deaths from H5N1 avian flu. So, maybe it'll work on humans. And so don't worry about it.
I'm not worried.
You're all good.
Okay, good.
Good.
That's great. Fortunately, I don't come in contact with a lot of farm animals, so
really.
Yeah,
well, if you do,
I'm not that worried about it now.
If you do, protect yourself.
Okay, I will.
You need to wear protective clothing, mask, all of it.
All right. Good safety tip.
Serious.
Thank you. More coming up in just a minute.
The Glenn Beck Program. Glenn's newsletter is free and full of useful info delivered every day right to your inbox. Sign up at glennbeck.com.
Gun Talk.
See, Louisiana became state number 28, and right behind it, South Carolina became state number 29 to have permitless carry that have lifted their restriction, where you have to say, Mother, may I please exercise my Second Amendment right? They've lifted the restriction where you have to have a permit to be able to carry a gun for your own personal protection.
Gun Talk, Sundays on Blaze Radio Network.
At Smoky Bones, we began house smoking and barbecuing meat to perfection in 1999. We've brought mouth-watering flavor to our guests ever since. And we're saying cheers to 25 smoking years by rolling back prices to what they were then. So come in now and get a half rack of St. Louis-style ribs with 2 sides for just $9.99, or make it a full rack for just $14.99. It's time to feast like it's 1999. Smoky Bones. Meat is what we do. While supplies last.
This is a national healthcare alert from the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one has diabetes, listen closely. Now, regardless of your age, if you have insurance, you may qualify to receive diabetic testing supplies with little to no out-of-pocket cost. Get free delivery, free information, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers for free. Call the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline now for details. Toll free at this number. But wait, there's more. If you call right now, you could get a meter upgrade. In addition, we'll give you a free pair of diabetic socks as our special gift to you. Regardless of your age, if you suffer with diabetes and have insurance, you may qualify to get free delivery of your supplies.
800-443-0645. 800-443-0645. 800-443-0645. That's 800-443-0645.
Hey, it's Mo Egger with my guy, John from Window World. John, I want to talk about what Window World could do for homeowners and their home energy bills, both in the summer and the winter. But I've heard of this, and I don't know what it is, so I'm going to ask you. A Windows Energy Star rating. What is it?
Energy Star ratings are government ratings that identify the efficiency of the window to make your home the most energy efficient, keeping the hot air out in the summer, keeping the warm air in the wintertime.
See what the folks at Window World could do for your home energy bills at windowworldcincinnati.com.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble.
Help!
I could barely move.
Help!
I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
Call 1-800-425-6319 for your free Life Alert brochure. That's 1-800-425-6319. Again, 1-800-425-6319. Call for your free Life Alert brochure at 1-800-425-6319. 1-800-425-6319 today.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-822-3396. 888-822-3396. Sponsored by GP Agency Inc., Raleigh, NC. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult your financial professional before making an investment decision.
Are you a writer who has devoted your time to writing a book with Christian morals behind it, but need help publishing it? Covenant Books has helped thousands of faith-based authors publish, edit, and sell their books. Covenant Books will help tell your story by printing, marketing, and distributing your book through specialty Christian bookstores and major online book retailers like Amazon, Apple, and many others. Covenant Books. Let us help tell your story. For your free author's information packet, call 1-800-675-5178. That's 800-675-5178.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-683-5921. 800-683-5921. 800-683-5921. That's 800-683-5921.
Handle on the Law.
Oh, is this a good one with the Israeli-Hamas war? And this happens to do with the International Criminal Court. What's happening in Israel is a war crime. It can be argued that it actually is. The bombing of civilian targets is a war crime. Israel argues it's not going after civilians, it's going after Hamas, and civilians happen to be in the way, which is different than targeting civilians.
Handle on the Law. Sundays on Blaze Radio Network.
All right, welcome to it. Great to have you with us. Pat Gray, Jeff Fisher. We're in for Glenn today, and Stu. Stu is out. He will be back with us tomorrow. In the meantime, you know what's going on in Mexico right now with the candidates being assassinated? It's unbelievable.
I thought you were about the new president.
Well, that too. Okay, yes. That's historic. They just elected a woman president for the first time in Mexican history.
Yeah.
Is it the first time in North American history? I don't think Canada's had a female president or premier either, have they?
And both the two front runners were both women.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But in addition to the woman winning the presidency, what was her name? Gloria Steinbaum or something?
Yes. Her name was Claudia
Steinbaum. Is it Steinbaum? Yes. Scheinbaum. Okay. Gloria Scheinbaum.
I mean, when you think of Mexico,
you think
of the Scheinbaum.
Gloria, not Gloria, but Claudia.
Well, Claudia
Scheinbaum.
Yeah. Part of the Scheinbaum.
The Mexican Scheinbaum family.
Yeah.
Which is so prevalent, especially this time of year, if I'm not mistaken. But in addition to that, 37 candidates for political office in Mexico this year have been assassinated. It's just on 37.
Okay, so according to this, more than 20 local candidates have been killed since September.
Yeah.
Since September.
Yeah.
All right, so, less than a year. Less than a year.
Right.
Okay. But
in this election cycle.
Correct.
It's 37. That's incredible.
Makes one think maybe
you don't want to run for office.
Not going to run.
Yeah. It does give you pause, I would think.
Yes, no doubt.
The Glenn Beck Program.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
I pledged that the United States would invest more than $520 million in making Ukraine's energy infrastructure cleaner, more resilient, and more integrated with Europe.
See that? We're going to make it cleaner.
Okay, can we stop with the nation building,
This
please?
is the Great Reset War. This is the Great Reset War.
Please, for the love of heaven, stop it. Can we, for the love of heaven, stop rebuilding nations?
Pat Unleashed. Weekdays, 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern. Only on the Blaze Radio Network.
At Smoky Bones, we began house smoking and barbecuing meat to perfection in 1999. We've brought mouth-watering flavor to our guests ever since. And we're saying cheers to 25 smoking years by rolling back prices to what they were then. So come in now and get a half rack of St. Louis-style ribs with 2 sides for just $9.99, or make it a full rack for just $14.99. It's time to feast like it's 1999. Smoky Bones. Meat is what we do. All supplies last.
Do you have an invention idea but don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp now for free information on how to get started today. InventHelp provides invention services that help everyday inventors get started with their idea. We have representatives nationwide who will explain the InventHelp process step by step. Over 10,000 patents have been secured through InventHelp's patent referral services. Our services include professional materials needed to showcase your invention, and 3D animation and prototype modeling that help you demonstrate your idea. Get down to the details of your idea with a technical drawing. The InventHelp Databank includes thousands of companies who have agreed to review new ideas. We've been helping inventors since 1984. Let's help you next. Take advantage of the opportunity to get started today.
Call 1-800-352-1408. That's 1-800-352-1408. Again, 1-800-352-1408.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-822-3396. 888-822-3396. Sponsored by GP Agency Inc., Raleigh, NC. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult your financial professional before making an investment decision.
I live alone and rarely have visitors. So when I slipped and fell in the kitchen last month and couldn't get to a phone, I knew I was in trouble.
Help!
I could barely move.
Help!
I tried calling for help, but no one could hear me. As I lay there, I couldn't help but think of my kids and grandkids having to go on without me. I was terrified. It took 8 hours for my neighbor to find me. It could have been the end of me. That's when I knew I needed Life Alert. With just one press of this button, I'm connected to the Life Alert Center, where I can get the help I need, even when I cannot reach a phone. With Life Alert, I'm never alone.
Call 1-800-425-6319 for your free Life Alert brochure. That's 1-800-425-6319. Again, 1-800-425-6319. Call for your free Life Alert brochure at 1-800-425-6319. 1-800-425-6319 today.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-683-5921. 800-683-5921. 800-683-5921. That's 800-683-5921.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-507-3137. 800-507-3137. 800-507-3137. That's 800-507-3137.
Fearless with Jason Whitlock.
LeBron James is selfish and narcissist. He's willing to live out his own fantasy. He's willing to make his child a prop, a make-a-wish kid in the NBA.
Fearless with Jason Whitlock, only on the Blaze Radio Network.
Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever podcasts are found.
This is an encore presentation of the Glenn Beck Program. Listen live Monday through Friday from 9 to noon Eastern on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to the future.
Palestinian supporters still out protesting, still screaming and yelling, supporting Hamas. It's fantastic. Tell you about some of that coming up here in 1 minute. Meantime, never forget to keep your eyes on the prize. That's the kind of mentality you have to have when you're making big, important decisions in your life. So when it's time to buy or sell a house or both, it's also the mentality you're going to want your real estate agent to have. Because if you get an agent who's anything short of a perfectionist and a hard worker, you're just begging to get less for the home you're selling or pay more for the one you're buying than you would have done otherwise. A little over a decade ago, Glenn started a company that works with that kind of real estate agent and sets them up with people like you. It's called Real Estate Agents I Trust, and you should check them out today. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, or if you just have some questions that need answering, they can help. It's a free service that we provide to you, set you up with a realtor, and then the two of you ride off in the sunset together. Real Estate Agents I Trust, the name says it all. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com. One of the fun moments of the weekend was when the Gay Pride Parade ran into a Palestinian Hamas supporting parade.
Yeah.
And they kind of came together in love and togetherness and friendship. It was really beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Really beautiful. Here's a look at how beautiful it was. Isn't that nice? Okay, I don't even know what they're chanting. Something about all the same. Okay. And then there's the guy that looks like he's from the Village People. In the other one. Do we have the other?
Yeah,
switch to the other one because
these things.
Okay.
Just want to be in a parade.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the FBI.
Oh, yeah, the FBI.